New Year's Eve, my brother Maverick hurled a full glass of Cabernet Sauvignon straight into my face on the 40th floor rooftop condo in Seattle because I wouldn't hand over the keys to my brand new BMW i7. "You selfish bitch!" he screamed. Mom Aria snapped, "Don't call me your mom anymore." Dad Lloyd jumped in. He needs the car for job interviews. Piano, I wiped the wine from my eyes, smiled, stepped to the balcony railing with the Space Needle glowing behind me, and dialed my lawyer. "It's exactly like you predicted," I whispered. "Activate the plan." 1 hour later. My name is Piano Grant. I'm 31, senior data analyst at a downtown investment bank, owner of this one-bedroom condo with panoramic sound views and the I-7 parked in valet below. I've spent years building a life no one can touch until tonight. If your family ever tried to guilt-trip you into handing over your hard-earned assets, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications because the fallout starts now. 2 years back, the first Venmo request hit after the Super Bowl. I was in my condo kitchen chopping vegetables for a late dinner when the notification pinged. $800 from my brother Maverick. The memo read, "Emergency. Lost bet, need to cover before they come looking." I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Maverick Grant, 28, now had dropped out of community college sophomore year and bounced between gig jobs ever since. Sports betting apps kept him up at night. Phone glowing under the covers in our parents' basement where he still crashed. I transferred the money without a second thought. Family helps family, right? That transfer opened the floodgates. A month later, another request for $1,200 after March Madness. "Bad bracket," he texted with a shrug emoji. I sent it. Then $3,500 during the World Series because the line moved wrong. Each time I told myself it was temporary. Maverick promised he'd pay back once he landed steady work. He filled out applications at coffee shops and warehouses, but interviews never panned out. The apps were easier, quick highs, instant lows. His girlfriend Rhett Ellis entered the picture 6 months in. 27, sharp-eyed, working the sales floor at a used car dealership in Everett. She spotted Maverick's losing streak from across the bar one night and slid into the booth with advice on flipping bad credit for quick cash. Rhett knew the system, how to layer cosigners on loans, stretch terms, bury fees. She started tagging along to family dinners at our parents' house in Renton, a modest split level, where Grandma Evelyn had her own room downstairs since Grandpa passed. Mom Aria Grant, 60, manned the front desk at a dental clinic downtown. She handed Maverick spare cash from her tips, slipping 20s into his palm when she thought no one noticed. "He's trying," she'd say if I asked. Dad Lloyd Grant, 63, drove Uber nights to supplement his pension. He set up recurring Venmo transfers, $500 monthly, with memos like gas for job hunts. Maverick used it to chase parlays on FanDuel. I kept track in a private spreadsheet. Column for date, amount, reason, he gave. The total climbed 2,000 after NBA playoffs, 1,500 for a sure thing in UFC. By the end of that first year, I'd wired over $10,000. Maverick stopped mentioning payback. His texts shifted to casual asks. "Can you spot me $800 for rent this month?" Our parents' basement had rules, but he bent them. Rhett pushed harder. She drove Maverick to the dealership on slow afternoons, showing him inventory flips, buy low from auctions, sell high on lots. "Your sister's credit is gold," she said once over coffee at my condo. I laughed it off. Rhett smiled, eyes calculating. She started drafting mock contracts on her laptop, practicing signatures in the margins. Grandma Evelyn watched from the armchair in the living room during Sunday visits. 82, sharp as ever, she lived with Mom and Dad after her hip replacement. She didn't say much, just observed Maverick pacing with his phone, Rhett whispering in the kitchen. Evelyn pulled me aside one afternoon while loading the dishwasher. "Keep your receipts, Piano," she murmured. "Boys like that don't change without a push." I ignored the warning at first. Another transfer for $900 when Maverick claimed his car broke down though he drove Rhett's lot beater. The spreadsheet hit $15,000 total. I started declining smaller asks, suggesting budget apps instead. Maverick sulked, then escalated. You make bank downtown, what's a few hundred to you? Mom kept a spare key to my condo on her ring for emergencies. She used it once to water plants while I traveled for work. Dad texted updates on Maverick's progress new resume interview outfit. The lies stacked up. Rhett sent me a friend request on LinkedIn profile boasting finance specialist, creative solutions. By the 18-month mark, the total reached $18,000. Maverick's requests came weekly memos vaguer, need to square up. I stopped responding immediately, letting notifications pile. Rhett messaged separately. He's stressed piano. One more loan and he's set. I blocked her temporarily. Evelyn noticed the tension during holiday dinners. She sat at the table end, sipping tea, eyes flicking between Maverick's forced smiles and Mom's defensive glances. Family isn't an ATM, she said quietly one night as I helped her to bed. I nodded, but the guilt lingered. Maverick was blood. Rhett became family by association. The pattern solidified. Maverick bet bigger to chase losses Rhett enabled with schemes Mom and Dad covered blindly. I became the safety net, wires flying from my account like clockwork. The condo felt less like home, more like collateral. Evelyn's words echoed, but I kept sending until the alert started looking different. 3 months ago, my insurance app flashed red. I sat at my desk downtown mid-conference call when the push notification demanded attention. Premium jump $312 extra per month on the BMW policy. I muted the meeting, opened the details. A new lien appeared, tied to a co-signer agreement I never signed. My name listed as guarantor on a secondary loan for vehicle modifications. The dealership address matched Rhett's workplace. I forwarded the PDF to my personal email, heart rate climbing. Back home that evening, I downloaded the file again on my laptop. Metadata buried in properties created by R. Ellis at the Everett lot, edited multiple times last quarter. Signature lines showed my looped cursive close enough to fool a quick scan, but the loops were too uniform, lacking my usual slant. Rhett had practiced. I pulled credit reports from all 3 bureaus. Hard inquiry from the same dealership dated 2 weeks after Maverick's last big loss. The loan amount, $25,000 for performance upgrades. No upgrades existed on my i7. It rolled off the lot stock. The contract routed payments through a shell account linked to Maverick's betting profile. I printed everything, pages stacking on the condo counter. Mom had stopped by earlier with groceries using her spare key. She noticed the printer whirring. Work stuff, she asked. I nodded, sliding the stack into a folder. Dad texted later, another $500 sent to Maverick for interview shoes. I screenshotted it. Grandma Evelyn shuffled in from the guest room during one of my weekend visits to Renton. She lived downstairs now, mobility limited, but mind razor sharp. I showed her the printouts over tea. She adjusted her glasses, scanning the forged signature. Document everything, dear, she whispered, voice low so Mom wouldn't hear from the kitchen. Paper trails outlast excuses. I contacted my lawyer, Tate Grant, that night. No relation, just coincidence, from college alumni network. 35, specialized in consumer fraud and credit disputes. We met at a quiet cafe near Pike Place the next morning. I laid out the folder. Tate flipped pages, nodding. Classic straw borrower scheme, he said. They add you as cosigner without consent, default hits your credit. He outlined steps: fraud alert on reports, dispute with insurer, potential police report. We focused on evidence. Tate suggested a discreet microphone in the BMW, legal, since it's my property, activated only when parked in valet or garage. Cloud sync time-stamped, he explained. If they discuss selling or flipping, we capture it clean. I ordered the device online, installed it myself in the center console, wired to the car's battery for constant power. I froze joint accounts from old family plans, set 2-factor on banking apps. Tate drafted cease and desist letters, held them pending escalation. He pulled dealership records. Rhett's employee file flagged for prior complaints on aggressive co-signing. The loan officer signed off without verification. Back at the condo, I reviewed dash cam footage from recent weeks. Maverick borrowed the i7 twice for errands, returning with fast food wrappers, and Rhett's perfume lingering. One clip showed them arguing in the garage, her gesturing at paperwork, him nodding. Audio muffled but enough to confirm coordination. Evelyn called midweek. "Saw your brother sneaking out back with envelopes," she said. "Thick ones." I thanked her, added notes to the file. Tate reviewed the growing dossier. "Solid foundation," he emailed. "Hold until they force your hand." I adjusted autopay to exclude any new liens, monitored daily. The insurer reversed the premium hike pending investigation. Credit scores dipped temporarily from the inquiry, but stabilized with the alert. Tate prepared affidavits ready to file if needed. The setup felt proactive, almost clinical. I drove the i7 to work, micro-silent but armed. Rhett texted once, "Heard about insurance glitch, dealership error." I left it on read. Mom asked why I changed the condo locks. "Security upgrade?" I replied. Evelyn sent a card in the mail, simple handwritten, strength in silence. I taped it inside the evidence folder. Tate scheduled a follow-up. "We wait for the trigger," he said. "They always overreach." New Year's Eve, string lights flickered over Puget Sound. The rooftop buzzed with co-workers in sequins and ties, champagne flutes clinking against the countdown clock. I hosted the party in my condo building, 40th floor, open bar, DJ spinning remixes. Family mixed with the bank team, mom chatting with HR, dad nursing a beer by the heaters. Maverick arrived late with Rhett, both dressed sharper than usual. The evening flowed smooth at first. I circulated introducing Maverick as my brother to analysts who asked about my holiday plans. He smiled, tight eyes scanning the valet drop-off below. Rhett hovered near the dessert table, phone out, texting furiously. Dana Kim, 33, and my direct manager pulled me aside for a quick toast. "To crushing Q4," she said, glass raised. As midnight neared, the crowd migrated to the railing for the Space Needle show. Maverick cornered me near the bar, voice low but urgent. "Keys to the i7," he demanded. "Now." Colleagues nearby pretended not to hear, but phones angled subtly. I shook my head. "We talked about this." "No." His face twisted. "You owe me. After everything." He snatched a full glass from a passing tray, Cabernet, deep red, and hurled it forward. Liquid splashed across my dress, droplets hitting my cheek. Gasps rippled. Rhett smirked from the sidelines. Dad pushed through the circle. "He needs the car for job interviews." He barked, hand on Maverick's shoulder. "Bellevue tech firm. Big opportunity." Mom stepped up next, eyes blazing. "If you can't support family, don't call me your mom anymore." Her words cut sharp over the music. The DJ lowered the volume. Dana held her phone steady, red record dot glowing. She zoomed in without a word, capturing every second. I stood, dripping fabric clinging, but kept my voice even. "This ends tonight." Maverick lunged for my clutch where the key fob bulged. I sidestepped, heels steady on the concrete. Security hovered at the stairs, unsure whose party it was. Rhett whispered something in his ear. He backed off, chest heaving. "You'll regret this," he muttered. I excused myself through the stunned crowd, weaving past string lights and abandoned flutes. The balcony door slid open to cold air off the water. Space Needle lights pulsed in the distance, countdown at T-10 minutes. I leaned against the railing, pulled my phone and dialed Tate. He answered on the second ring. "Piano. Status, public demand for the keys." I said, voice steady despite the wine drying on my skin. "Thrown drink, disownment threat, dad defending." "All on video." "Activate," Tate replied. "Micro live." "Since install." "Valet has the car." "Good." "Sync starts now. Get inside, act normal until midnight." I hung up, wiped my face with the napkin from my pocket. Dana met me at the door, phone lowered. "Sent you the clip," she whispered. HR will see it if needed. I nodded thanks. Back inside, the party resumed awkwardly. Maverick sulked by the bar, Rhett refilling his glass. Mom avoided eye contact, clinging to Dad's arm. He shot me apologetic glances but said nothing more. The countdown began 10, 9, 8. Fireworks prep boomed outside. I raised a fresh flute, toasted the team. To new beginnings, I called. Maverick glared but stayed put. Rhett checked her watch. 7:65. Dana stood beside me, supportive smile. 4:32. The sky exploded in color reflections dancing on glass towers. 1. Cheers erupted. Hugs exchanged. I slipped away again, a balcony wind whipping the sound. Tate texted audio streaming. Stand by. The call ended the year on my terms. Wind off the water cut sharp as I pressed call. Tate confirmed remote activation. The micro in the BMW began streaming to his encrypted server. I slid the balcony door shut behind me, re-entering the rooftop where fireworks still painted the sky in bursts of gold and crimson. Guests milled with phones aloft, capturing the Space Needle spectacle. The DJ transitioned to upbeat tracks, masking any lingering tension. Below in the valet garage, the i7 sat under harsh fluorescence. Maverick and Rhett had slipped away, post-midnight toast keys in hand. The device captured every syllable, engine off, windows cracked, voices low but unmistakable. Carvana pinged back. Rhett announced, screen glow reflecting on the windshield. Instant offer, 142,000. Covers the bookies, clean pockets us 20 grand easy. Maverick snorted. She'll flip when the title hits DMV. Too late by then. Forge the seller packet tonight, she directed. I'll swap VIN tags at the lot before sunrise. Buyer picks up tomorrow. Insurance still shows her as primary glitch in our favor. Lender thinks cosign valid. Their plan unfolded in real-time, timestamps ticking past 1 a.m. I adjusted the earbud volume, standing near the elevator bank. Dana appeared at my elbow, brow furrowed. You good? She whispered. I tilted the phone. Live feed, visible. Her eyes widened. Distribute, I instructed. Company Slack first. Family group second. She posted to the work channel 214 active users. Holiday hangovers be damned. File attached, caption blunt. Active theft attempt on company employee asset BMW i7. Thumbs up reactions mixed with fire emojis. Compliance bot auto-flagged for review. Dana mirrored to the family chat, Maverick, Rhett, mom, dad, scattered ants. Audio embedded, played on loop for anyone tapping. Renton House went radio silent initially. Party energy shifted upstairs. Colleagues formed small clusters, glancing my way. One analyst mouthed, "Holy shit." I nodded, acknowledgement kept moving. Tate messaged transcript snippets, intent clear, felony conspiracy. He CC'd local PD contact for chain of custody. Dana tugged my sleeve to a quiet alcove. Legal drive synced. HR heads up sent. She showed the thread, VP already replying, support whatever piano needs. Fireworks finale boomed, grand cascades over the sound. Crowd cheered, glasses raised. Maverick re-entered alone, Rhett idling below. He scanned the room, spotted me, veered to the bar. Dad intercepted with a fresh beer. Mom hovered nearby, phone buzzing nonstop. Family group erupted. Dad typed, "Explain this now." Mom followed with voice note, shaky pleading. Maverick exited the chat entirely. Grandma Evelyn pinged private from Renton. "Proud of you, darling." No elaboration. I fired back a single heart emoji. Audio wrapped at 1:23 a.m. engine, starting tires, echoing up the ramp. Tate archived, checksum verified. Dana exported backups to 3 separate clouds. Rooftop cleared steadily. Coates claimed ride shares summoned. I stacked abandoned flutes, mind cataloging next moves. Valet log confirmed I-7 departure time. Dana lingered last. Drive safe, she said, hugging quick. Monday debrief, count on it. Elevator descended smooth. Condo door locked behind me at 2:15. Server pinged final upload complete. Evidence locked, loaded, lethal. January 1st dawned gray over the Olympics. I brewed coffee in the condo kitchen sunlight, struggling through thick clouds. Notifications stayed muted from the overnight chaos. The intercom buzzed at 9 sharp. Lobby camera revealed Maverick, Rhett, and Mom huddled at the entrance. Maverick gripped a black duffel bag. Rhett clutched a stack of folders under her arm. Mom shifted weight between feet, scanning the panel. I answered audio only, voice calm. State your purpose. Mom leaned forward first. Let us up right now. We need to discuss last night's misunderstanding. No visitors without prior notice, I stated, citing building policy verbatim. Security enforces it. Maverick pushed closer to the speaker. This isn't a request piano. Open the door. Family business. Rhett waved the folders. We brought paperwork to fix the insurance mix-up. Quick signatures. I pressed the deny button. Screen flashed red. Access rejected. Their voices echoed in the marble lobby, arguing among themselves. Maverick kicked the baseboard lightly. Rhett dialed her phone, pacing. Mom pressed the buzzer repeatedly, rapid fire. Security arrived after 5 minutes, 2 guards in Navy uniforms. They spoke firmly, gesturing toward the exit. Maverick protested loudly. Rhett tucked folders inside her coat. Mom trailed behind as they escorted the trio out. Camera feed cut to empty lobby. Tate called while I poured a second cup. Certified letters mailed at 8:30, he reported. One to Maverick Grant at the Renton address, formal cease and desist on all contact with your vehicles and accounts. One to Rhett Ellis at the dealership, notice of intent to pursue fraud charges. One to the lender, full dispute of the cosigner addition with supporting affidavits. Tracking numbers, I asked. Live on USPS site. Signature required. Expected delivery by noon tomorrow. He detailed attachments. Time-stamped audio transcript, PDF metadata report, credit bureau disputes, lobby footage stills, non-emergency police report filed at downtown precinct, Tate added. Detective Ramirez, assigned, specializes in identity theft. Case number emailed. I forwarded the intercom recording. Attempted unauthorized entry following threats. Perfect. Bolsters any restraining order application. Mom texted solo 10 minutes later. Your father is devastated. Think about what you're doing. I archived the message without response. Dad rang the condo landline, unusual for him. Your brother's a wreck. He began, voice tired. Maybe sit down together. Clear the air. Intercom captured everything I replied. No discussions until legal resolves. He exhaled heavily. Stubborn like your grandma. Click. By 10:30, Tate confirmed postal dispatch complete. I printed tracking pages, slipped them into the evidence binder. Labels organized audio-video correspondence. Grandma Evelyn initiated a video call from the Renton living room, her favorite recliner positioned near the bay window. Afternoon light filtered through lace curtains. Mom's muffled voice carried from the kitchen cabinets, slamming. Dad's TV murmured sports highlights. Evelyn adjusted her tablet angle. You held the line, she said softly, eyes bright. Blood isn't bondage. I leaned closer to my screen. Your words guided me. She glanced toward the hallway. Arya's pacing holes in the carpet, but truth stands. Keep that binder locked tight. Always do. Call whenever she finished. Proud doesn't cover it. The call ended. Screen saved, labeled with date. I backed it up to cloud. Lobby stayed quiet the rest of morning. Dana messaged from home. HR opened informal review on the clip, full support if you need statements. I sent thanks. Tate emailed scanned postal receipts by 1 p.m. Maverick refused signature package returned to sender. Rhett accepted hers at the dealership desk. Lender responded loan frozen pending investigation, no further payments withdrawn. I walked the condo hallway, binder secure under arm, pages thick with proof. Coffee cooled on the counter. Security logged the incident report, copy forwarded to Tate. Building manager confirmed keycard audit mom's spare deactivated months ago. Afternoon dragged. I reviewed lender correspondence line by line. Interest accrual paused. Credit alerts cleared one by one. Evelyn texted a photo her holding yesterday's newspaper proof of life. Caption still kicking. I replied with a thumbs up. Tate scheduled court filing prep for next week. Chapter 7. Draft ready, he said in voicemail. Bankruptcy forces disclosure. I filed the message. Binder grew heavier. Sun dipped behind clouds by 4. Evidence remained irrefutable. Certified letters left the mailbox before coffee cooled. Tate filed the Chapter 7 petition for Maverick at the federal courthouse by 9 a.m. Voluntary liquidation to erase unsecured obligations starting with the forged cosigner lien. Schedules detailed every gambling marker, the dealership loan, and the $18,000 wired from my accounts. The trustee, a no-nonsense veteran named Patel, accepted assignment within the hour and froze all known assets. I met Tate in his 15th floor office overlooking Elliott Bay. He spread the forms across the conference table. This forces full disclosure, he said, highlighting the asset section. Any Carvana proceeds surface immediately. Maverick e-signed under protest from a library computer his phone service cut for non-payment. Rhett's fraud report landed with the State Department of Licensing at 10:30. Tate's packet included time-stamped metadata, the recorded sales pitch lender correspondence, and my sworn affidavit. An investigator opened case number DL 2025-00147 scheduling dealership audit for the following week. Rhett's supervisor placed her on unpaid leave pending outcome. Mom's revocable trust amendment executed quietly at the county recorder's office. I had revised it 18 months earlier, naming myself sole beneficiary and removing her as trustee. Tate filed the codicil update, converting it to irrevocable status. She challenges probate court, laughs, he noted, stamping the seal. Condo title, investment accounts, retirement funds, all shielded. Bank reversal hit my account by noon, $18,000 restored, fees, waived fraud, flag lifted. Credit bureaus updated within 24 hours. Score climbed 30 points overnight. Maverick attempted contact via burner app. Withdraw the filing, he texted. I'll Venmo $50 a month. I forwarded to Tate, blocked the number. Rhett hired a discount attorney who demanded document production. Tate responded with a 4-inch binder, every transfer, every memo, every forged line. Discovery motion denied for lack of standing. Trustee Patel issued subpoenas to DraftKings and FanDuel. Betting histories, downloaded balances seized. Remaining funds, $423 applied to administrative costs. Mom retained a family law specialist threatening contest. Tate countered with trust language and my recorded statements. Judge scheduled status conference. Mom withdrew before filing fee. Dana closed the HR incident report, company policy violation by non-employee, no further action against me. Grandma Evelyn arranged delivery through a local florist. Dozen white roses arrived Tuesday afternoon wrapped in brown paper. Handwritten card tucked inside, roots run deep, but wings carry farther. You chose flight. Love, G. I set the vase on the dining table, slipped the note into the evidence binder's front pocket. Lender settled separately full discharge of the disputed loan against Maverick's estate, my name expunged from title. Insurance premium, refunded with interest. Chapter 7 progressed without hiccup. Creditors meeting held via Zoom. Maverick attended, mute camera disabled. Trustee questioned gambling patterns. He invoked Fifth Amendment. No objections filed. Rhett's dealership terminated employment after audit revealed 3 prior cosigner complaints. License suspended indefinitely. Mom's final email to Tate. This destroys family. He replied with court docket, no further comment. I printed discharge forecast 90 days to final order. Binder now 2 volumes. Evelyn's roses lasted 10 days, petals dropping one by one. I pressed the last bloom between binder pages. Bankruptcy clock ticked steady. Debts vanished, boundaries permanent. By summer, the for sale sign vanished from the BMW listing. Carvana wired $142,000 within 48 hours, clean title, no liens. I deposited the check, paid off the original loan balance, pocketed the equity. Tate handled escrow, ensured Maverick's name stayed off everything. I listed the condo next, downtown views, sold fast to a tech couple relocating from San Francisco, closing in 30 days. Proceeds funded the down payment on a 3-bedroom townhouse in Bellevue. Quiet cul-de-sac, attached garage, no rooftop parties. Moving day arrived mid-July. Professional packers boxed the kitchen, first labeled fragile. I changed all locks on the new place, smart deadbolts, app controlled. Old condo keys melted down at a scrapyard. Phone purge followed. Blocked Maverick's numbers, Rets too. Mom's contact archived to do not answer. Dad's Uber profile unfollowed. Social media unfriend, block, restrict. Email filters routed, family domain to trash. Trust cleanup finalized with Tate. I removed Mom entirely from any beneficiary mention, assets rerouted to charitable remainder upon my passing. Notary witnessed, filed at county, irrevocable, ironclad. Dana hosted farewell drinks at the bank, promotion toast for my lateral move to remote analysis. Boundaries queen, she joked. I raised mocktail. Townhouse unpacked in phases. Master bedroom, first new mattress, blackout curtains. Office setup with dual monitors, ergonomic chair. Garage shelving for tools, no spare keys hidden. Grandma Evelyn visited, once settled. She toured the patio, approved the herb garden. Space to breathe, she said. No mention of rent and drama. I drove a leased hybrid, now practical, anonymous. No more luxury targets. Maverick surfaced online months later, gig delivery driver profile pic in uniform. Rhett vanished from dealership sites. Mom posted passive quotes on Facebook. I never saw. Final sweep, deleted old group chats, burned printed evidence backups. Binders shredded, ashes scattered in Puget Sound. Family isn't a blank check. Boundaries aren't betrayal.